Welcome to Reality After Show coverage of the Traitors US Season 3, Episode 9. It's called The Silent Assassin. I'm Jonny Fairplay, joined most times, almost every time, by our favorite faithful and winner of Big Brother. No retirement in sight, Rachel Reilly.
Never, no introduction needed, Rachel Reilly. Okay, first of all, Fairplay, before we even start, I have to preview the preview. Okay, Kate, I like her, whatever, she's fine.
She's your enemy.
But, like, wouldn't I have been better to be in that picture? Like, I think I should be dressed up like a freaking queen and be walking in saying I'm the queen of the castle. Like, reality TV.
I would have preferred seeing you and Kate walking in and together? Her tripping you up.
That would have been funny.
It would have been great.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
So yeah. Kate would have loved it.
Kate would have loved doing that.
They didn't add a whole lot.
No, I was kind of disappointed. I wanted them to add more.
Yeah.
I felt like just having them sitting there to watch wasn't as much fun as I would have liked.
Parv's a gamer, so she knows everyone's name. Yeah. So I was happy to know that Kate knew the names that she did know.
I mean, she probably did her homework, you know?
No. I think she just understood the Tom Sandoval of it all. And was just like,
Tom. That's so funny.
All right. So
okay, also, this is a real life Harry Potter movie scene.
Oh, yeah.
No, like
the Dementors?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The human chess. It's literally from Harry Potter.
Oh, wow. See, I loved it. I thought it was great. I will say this because you're going to hear the beginning of this podcast and be like, oh, Jonny Fairplay's a hater. And I am hating at the beginning of this podcast. And we're going to get there.
Okay.
I cried at the end of this podcast. I literally had tears going down my face. So, because it's my people.
I know. So, I mean, I think everyone is going to be a little bit sad for the rest of the season.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, episode 9, it's called A Silent Assassin. It comes out. All right. So they're in the turret. And I kind of blame Danielle but who knows how long the turret meeting went on for. But I felt like Danielle needed to say those words. It's like, look.
You know what? I think Danielle did. I think Danielle wanted to get rid of Carolyn. Honest to God. I really think Danielle.
When she does everything else to do that.
100%. The whole episode.
Yeah, but I think the initial pitch was, let's make it Brittany. I'll sacrifice Brittany and you're good.
They literally needed to make it Brittany or Tom because for no reason at all. Like literally no reason at all. Tom has all these votes, right? So like people are voting for Tom when he's clearly not a traitor. Yeah. So I think because of that, if you know he's going to get Dolores voting against him every episode and you know the numbers, you can convince the rest of the people. So they should have recruited Tom. Tom is so dumb, he would have said yes.
Yeah.
Then they turned the whole entire group on Tom and plant it in Brittany's ears or in Gabby's ears so that Gabby and Brittany and Dylan do the dirty work for them.
Yeah, just lead the charge. So
lead the charge. And then, you have Dolores vote. You have the 2 traitors plus Dolores. That's 3 votes. They could have literally gotten rid of Tom.
And then they're like, oh my God, here we so yeah, but
he was so obvious though. You know what I mean? Like it's just
so but Carolyn has been amazing this season. Yeah, absolutely incredible. But before the season started, when we first started the podcast, I was just like, I could see Carolyn not going along with anything and not listening to logic in any way. And boom, episode 9, this is the Carolyn that should not have been a traitor, that had no right to be a traitor. And I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing? I'm just like, girl, you were the best traitor I've ever seen in my entire life for 8 episodes. And then and she's literally going, la, 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 with her fingers in her ears.
I don't understand why she didn't put someone in there. If it wasn't Brittany, they literally could have sacrificed Tom.
She wasn't having it.
No.
She just wouldn't listen.
And Sam, I think, is the totally wrong kill here because
oh God, yes.
Why get rid of Sam? He's so clueless. Nobody's listening to him. Him and Ivor do have that bromance thing going for them, but I think that hey, Jenn Hoffman, you look so pretty. But I think Sam is just so all over the place, and nobody took him seriously the whole time. They're not going to all of a sudden take him seriously. So like getting rid of murdering Sam should have been done like 2 murders ago. Yeah. And then on this recruit, blame it on Tom doing something else.
We were just talking, Jen. We're going to get to. I am furious at the beginning of the episode. I am furious with Carolyn because I'm just like, what do you like? She's just not listening. And then at the end of the episode, spoiler, tears running down my face.
Yeah. Where we had left off at the last time was saying that like Carolyn's making a mistake. Carolyn's like at the last podcast episode we did, which they want to check out, was last week. Verify, you and I saw it coming, and we're losing our minds over Carolyn and like not realizing what an opportunity she was giving up and how much control she basically, was giving Danielle it was the opposite of what Carolyn thought. And same thing as me. I was so upset. I was like, it's over. I don't even want to watch this. I hate this. Like by the end of by the end of the last episode, I just was like, I almost swore. I was like, do I have anything funeral-like to wear? But I don't, so I'm not.
Yes. Well, snitches sleep with the fillet of fishes. There we go. There's your there's your shout out. So Carolyn's shutting down every good idea, and this ends with just like, I don't like Carolyn coming out of the turret, and I'm like I don't like, this isn't the Carolyn that we fell in love with for 8 episodes at all. So, but it's time for breakfast. Gabby and Carolyn are first. You know what that means? They get the salmon because apparently that goes real quick. And the eggs, right? What's the first, Rachel?
Wait, what? Sorry.
What goes first, the salmon or the eggs?
The salmon or the egg? The salmon.
Salmon first. Okay. Well, Gabby and Carolyn are all about it.
Yeah.
And
if I was like at that breakfast, I would be eating so much smoked salmon. We did not have that at my breakfast. We literally had tea and biscuits, some crumpets, some like crackers. What else?
That's all Ivar needs.
Cookies. Yeah. No, Ivar's happy, but Ivar's British. He probably doesn't even eat the smoked salmon. They must have added salmon for like us non-British people.
When I went to school in England, because I went to Cambridge for a semester. I'm not a breakfast person, but if I was hungry, because sometimes my classes started around lunch more, and it was still that time, they were like a scone and some jelly, and I was like, food, like eggs, bacon. They're fine, but I get like the Ivar thing and also the British thing, because I was like trying to go for my all-American, totally fake breakfast is a fake thing made up by like the agricultural industrial complex. That said, I still was like eggs, bacon, like something like that, and they were just like, no, breakfast is literally like scones and jelly and things like that. And I was like,
I guess I'm skipping breakfast. So
yeah, I'm not a breakfast person, but that I was like, ew.
So, well, Gabby is down for Danielle first. I'm like, okay, this could be okay. Even though I still love Danielle too, don't get me wrong. And I'm getting the Danielle from Big Brother that I wanted this entire time.
Finally.
So
it's like Boston Rob had to go for Danielle to not, like, I feel like Danielle's fake shaking might have been real until Boston Rob left. She was so afraid of him. I just had to get that out. I wanted to say that last time and say that I don't think, for like, basically Boston Rob had to go for Danielle to like fly free.
She did.
Yeah.
So
I feel like this is my other I think this is the hot take. I think if two murders ago they would have sacrificed like Sam or Ivor, someone, I think it could have changed the whole thing, where I don't think Boston Rob would have had to go. And then I think if he didn't go, I think Danielle would be Danielle still. I think it was just that she needed to get her like feet on the ground kind of thing.
Yeah, I agree about the feet on the ground thing. And I do, but it's Boston Rob did it to himself by somebody was like, it's you. And he was like, you're dead. So you're correct about that too. If they had made a choice to consciously make it somebody not about him. but there was so much mistrust between the three after Bob the drag queen was gone that I feel like Danielle just couldn't stabilize until she had someone she thought she could control or manipulate or outmaneuver.
Now because I'm.
if you look at every turret meeting, Boston Rob would throw out a name and they're like, no. And then the other two would talk and then it would go
literally. Back. I don't understand how the other faithfuls are not picking up on that.
Yeah. But then it was Boston Rob's decision every single time. Like, it's just like, I want this person to go. And they're like, I don't like that. I don't like that. And he's like, okay, well, I'll let you guys talk for 10 minutes. And then we're going to write down the name that I'd said at the beginning.
Yeah. Exactly what would happen. He'd make a face and he'd go like that. Like,
why aren't you listening to me? I'm Boston Rob.
Yeah, then he let them argue, and then in the end, they would murder the person he said. But to their credit, if they were thinking about it at all,
he was throwing out some good names.
Yeah, because and also it was like going to be obvious. It had nothing to do with them. So I know it's unfortunate it wasn't strategy that Danielle and Carolyn really were arguing, because that would have been a great strategy if they had pulled it together. It worked out, but to be like, let's pretend we're fighting about who Boston Rob wants to kill, but it's so obvious that he's going after his people that, like, let's let him do it, Yeah,
they got no footing. But Danielle has her footing now. Carolyn has lost whatever footing, but we'll get there. All right, Brittany and Tom are next. Then it's Ivar and Danielle. Danielle knows that Carolyn is coming for her. Dolores is next. It's between Dylan and Sam, and Ivar, sorry. He's like, I'm good friends with both of them. I'm like, I know. That's all. You're just friends.
You have friends.
Well, Dylan is alive, and Sam, the quotation mark actor, quotation mark model, has been murdered.
It's such a dumb waste of a murder.
It's Dylan, right? I keep aptly by what Kate, and that he is a Pilot Pete to me. Like, I can't stop thinking Pilot Pete every time I see the Zac Efron's brother or whatever. What is his name again? Dylan, yeah. In my head, I go, the guy who's not Pilot Pete, who's Zac Efron's brother. That's his full name to me. Okay, great. Yes. So I'm like, why are they not killing this person? Because even though he doesn't always get things right, he's trusted, he's liked, and he catches on to things. He's smart. He could be a potential winner. You have like Sam, who's not going to be, even though he did have one stroke of brilliance-ish that got ignored. Like, you want to keep Tom because Tom is so weird and chaotic and whatever. But like Sam, you just keep him because he's going to keep saying dumb things to confuse people.
Yeah, well, a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then.
And I was saying that they should have just they should have recruited Tom and then blame everything on Tom. And they would have known by then, like,
Tom would have lost his mind.
And Dolores, literally every single episode, has been voting for Tom for no reason.
No reason.
So you know that you have Dolores plus Carolyn and plus Danielle. That's 3 votes that you can
get. Tom imploding upon himself.
Yeah. And then Tom would freak out. And then Brittany would vote for Tom because Brittany didn't like Tom.
Oh, yeah.
And Gabby would probably vote for Tom because she didn't like Tom.
Sure.
So, I mean, I just feel like it's at the end of the day. And Tom would probably implode on himself.
You're absolutely right. So it's like if Carolyn was not going to go for the Brittany choice with Danielle, which could have been so much to her advantage, but fine, let's say there is some trepidation that's understandable there. Okay, you're absolutely right. They either should have recruited / killed Pilot Pete, Dylan, whatever his name is, because if he joined them, that would be like nobody suspects him, or they could just kill him if he decided not to join them. But you're right, Tom Sandoval is so like he's like another Carolyn, but like in a different way.
Yeah,
and they could have just thrown him out.
Tom Sandoval shows up at the round table. He's just like, vote me.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, okay, stop there. We're good.
Literally.
We are.
When he says, oh, I'm a traitor, but I was recruited. Like, no, I mean, people might not even believe him. You know what I mean? Like, they might be like,
if he accidentally instead of said like the cheated instead of traitor or whatever thing he did last week and said, I'm a traitor, it would have been like, Tom, you're a moron, even if he was a traitor. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Like, he just is. He's so random. So I think that they made a big mistake with that because they really needed to have someone for the house to like castle, whatever, to kill. And they just didn't do it.
Yeah. So, well, Sam played with honor and respect. I'm like, okay, well, you don't understand what this game is. All right, real quick, I didn't remember hearing it on the show, but everyone's going crazy on social media about it. I guess Danielle swore on her grandkids that she was a faithful.
I didn't
so.
I think she did.
Well, Chriselle, people are saying it in interviews after the fact, and they said it's going to be shown. So I guess she swore her grandkids, and people are just like, you can't do that. I'm like, yeah, you can.
You and I have had this discussion. I would say if I were to go on a show, and now I more than ever would be hyped about Traitors because I'm realizing how much kind of Apprentice-like it comes down to how you can argue around a table. And I'm like, ooh, like this would be much more my show than almost anything else because that is like my exact zone. And every roundtable, I have been able to like know exactly why somebody wasn't able to get out of something. And I'm like, that's why I'd be good at this. That said, wait, what was I saying right before that? Had a point, and I got distracted by.
But you wouldn't lie, but you would lie.
Oh, the grandparent.
Okay, yes. So if I were to go on any show, that one, it doesn't matter what reality show, I would have to like before I left for it or do whatever, like make my profile picture or like my bio or anything, and then also say to all the competitors in the beginning, if people are going to be swearing on their family members or whatever, like that is so dumb. If you ask me to do it, like I either like it means nothing. Like I will either just refuse and you can't trust it. Yeah, I'll be like, you've never been able to. All right, let me just get this cohesively. No one in the history of reality TV has been reliably been able to predict something just based on swearing on a family member. Okay. You don't know who's going to keep it. You don't know who's going to lie, like Cherie and Shane Powers and the swearing on the kids on the Survivor upset. You don't know if somebody's, you just don't know. We saw it on House of Villains. We don't. So
Jonny
it's like
Fairplay.
To make it a thing, to bring it up, and even to have it a thing as players. I'm ignoring the players. That's what it is. If you are playing on a game or you're on a reality show and you make it about the audience, I get it. Maybe they don't know as much, but you should know better.
Well, Chriselle's not a gamer, and it's just like, okay, well, guess what? These people are gamers, and that's what they do. So stop it. So, like,
well, and I think it's easier when they're out of the game to look back and be like, I would never do that. But like, it's
Well, yep. I mean, Chriselle wasn't playing.
Well, they did.
You know what? I think if Chriselle, I think it's a lot easier for Chriselle to say that she would never lie on anybody as a faithful versus being a traitor when it's just like, oh shit's different.
Everything's a lie, and you're harming everyone. And there's a few other things. One, I do think there's different points in your life where maybe you hold different things, like you will think you have one strong belief or that there's power behind something like swearing on someone or it's sacred, then it changes. There also is kind of like the first rodeo thing, like how Chriselle's been on a show, but even if it wasn't a competition show, you should know that people are still going to manipulate like their image, their everything. And it's like, just if you're going to enter on any reality show, I am speaking to anybody who's ever applying or anybody who's been on one, and you in any way decide to rely on, use, or pull the do you swear on someone, that could, if it's a tactic, fine, but like a reliable one or one you want to then like demonize somebody for or do whatever, like just don't stop.
Yes, there you go. So, well, Alan says that Sam has been deadlifted to the eternal gym, and I'm like, oh, that's right. Sam did nothing but work out, and then they showed the little clips, and you go, oh yeah, Sam's here. Okay, great. So, Dylan is under the assumption that someone he trusts is a traitor. You may be onto something, Dylan. They go outside. Do peacocks meow? That sounded like a meow.
So funny. I was like, it's meowing.
Yes.
I was like, it's meow.
Did you also catch?
When we were on the Traitors, we would hear that all the time. It's very creepy. We would hear it in the castle, and they do literally sound like a meow. It's like,
yeah.
And like we were like, is that a cougar? Like, what is it? No, it's a peacock, and that's what.
All the cougars were inside the castle.
That's true.
Thank you. Did you catch Carolyn's face when she walked outside and saw the peacock? She was not about it. She was like, "Fuck that bird!" Like peacocks are so beautiful and majestic. It's like, wow, peacock. Carolyn's like, no way.
You can't never tell if that was her real reaction or if she just was in a state of Carolyn face. But yeah, you're probably right, but you never know with her face what she's reacting to. Like she could have just had a thought about anything on Earth and made that
Could have been
face.
hiding a fart. You don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, bad read, Tom. Thanks, it's Dolores. Thanks, Tom.
Bad read, Tom.
I think it's Dolores. I think he just literally is just like, just whatever. I don't think he even knows what's going on at this point. Like, there's no way he could think it's Dolores, right?
I think bad read Tom does believe it's Dolores.
She wouldn't be a bad traitor. There, even though it's dumb math, it's like reality contestant math. People were like, "There's got to be a housewife or a Bravo person."
Yeah,
so I would, and she has skated by. She's not murdered yet. She didn't answer Sam's question about what at all, even worse than Carolyn, about what he was wearing when Alan Cummings came to do the kill. So like in a way, I'm almost like, why? I kind of sided with Tom, like, why are not more people at least bringing up Dolores's name, even though she's not that suspect? It's just traitor math to always look at a housewife, and also she is not being called out at all. Besides, it's almost like, because you know what it is, he's calling her out, so no one's paying attention. But if he wasn't, I think eyes would be on her.
So, well, good read Gabby, but loves to forget her good reads. She's like, the traitors are probably going to come after each other tonight. Yep. Danielle tells
when I heard that, I thought the whole thing was going to unravel. I got excited. I was like, oh my God, she said it. She said it to the right person. It's going to unravel. They're going to realize who both of it is. They're going to figure out like how to make them go crazy and pit each other against each other. And then like, it was like, she never said it.
Yeah. So, well, Danielle tells Dolores that a traitor will probably attack the round table. Once again, foreshadowing. And Gabby says they always come back for Gabby. We do. We love you, Gabby. You're the best. Dylan's closest ally is Carolyn, and he tells Gabby about Carolyn. And then we see Brittany crying about the possibility of Danielle not coming back. I'm like, all right. And then Danielle wants Carolyn out with Brittany by her side. And I'm like, it's on like Donkey Kong. But there's no way that they will have been asked questions the night before that Danielle can weaponize every single question against Carolyn, is there?
Oh my gosh. And count on Caroline to not know how to navigate it as it's happening until it's too late. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It was painful. So, well, it's an oversized chessboard. Traitors were asked questions last night. Oh man, the traitors know the answer. And here comes some real queens. And I was like, great, it's Bob. Nope, it's Paul and Kate. And Parv's wearing makeup, everybody. That's good. We love it when Parv wears makeup. All right. So first question, who is slithering under the radar? The traitors say Brittany. Dylan thinks the traitors will be honest. He's half right. And at this point, I'm just like, the traitor piece moving is very ominous. You know, like Rachel said, it's real life Harry Potter.
It is real life Harry Potter. It was literally from a Harry Potter. Okay, Human Chess. First Harry Potter movie, the Wicked Child. What is it called? The first Harry Potter movie. He has the stone.
I've never seen any.
Cursed Child. Yeah. And they go through him, Hermione, and Harry and Ron have to.
The Philosopher's Stone's the first book.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
I'm taking a nap during Harry Potter talk.
Harry Potter
through a thing, and it's literally like what they have to do. It's crazy.
I love it. So
I was half expecting the thing to have a thing and like slice them open when it bumped them out of the way.
Okay. I don't even know the Harry Potter thing, and I thought it was going to have a thing, like a sickle or whatever.
Yeah, right. So, well, it's they guess Brittany. It is Brittany. They bank some money. The biggest threat to the traitors, they say Brittany again. Of course, they guess bad read Tom because Tom says it again. And Carolyn champions it. And it's just like, girl, now is not the time to go for money. Danielle understands the assignment, and Carolyn is literally like, hold my beer, I'm a traitor.
Yeah, literally. If Carolyn wanted the money, she could have just said it something like, what if they're just going to say Brittany for all of them or something? Or, you know what I mean? Or like, or it could be
every single one. Knowing Tom would literally say they probably put me for every single one because he's so narcissistic. Like, I literally don't understand their strategy because At first, I didn't realize the Traitors were the ones picking this. And then when I realized it was the Traitors, I was like, why would they not just put Tom for literally everything? Just who cares?
I thought the same thing. Well, also, I knew Danielle wouldn't put Brittany for everything because she wanted to team up with her. But because there was already suspicion on Brittany, it could have been interesting for them to put everything on Brittany to cause chaos. Because then,
but I would have picked
Tom or one person. I agree. If they had named one person for every single answer, that would have been a genius move because it tells you nothing, it reveals nothing, and it's ridiculous and it's chaotic.
Well, here's the difference between Danielle, the gamer, and Carolyn, the personality. When they're answering the questions, Carolyn's just like, finally, I'm in control. It's my voice. I get to answer. Mm-hmm. And Danielle's like, there you go, girl. And she's like, yeah. And Danielle's like, you dumb. like it's literally like, eat this poison apple. And she's like, I'm going to eat this entire apple. And like, you did.
Yeah. And also Carolyn has not said much and has been very quiet this entire time.
And then now, all times,
she's just talking the whole, she's very vocal, suspicious.
Yeah. Who is the leader of the pack? Tom. Sorry, Tom. Is the consensus. Sorry, Tom. The consensus is Dylan. You're not the leader of the pack. And this is where we get the reference. Kate and Parv, they're like, wow, Dylan's Pete the pilot. Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Dylan's now thinking Carolyn because of answers. And I'm like, damn, Danielle is so good at this game. And this is the Danielle I've wanted for 8 episodes. It took 9 episodes for us to get her.
Yeah.
She was the last episode too. So it took 7 episodes to get to episode 8. So. All right. Who is most irrelevant? Carolyn. Carolyn is not good at giving answers.
Why?
What are you doing?
Put herself as the person who knows what, blah, blah. It's so.
Tom was the answer.
Yes. That she just set herself. I mean, that in itself was such a trap that I don't know anybody, even Tom Sandoval himself, if he had been a traitor, could not see that coming.
Oh, he would have seen. Tom would have shit himself. Tom would have been like, well, last night I said.
Oh yeah.
Right? Wouldn't that have been epic?
I would have loved it.
Oh my god.
Yes, I bet you
that would have been so fun.
You know what's funny? I wonder if during production when they were trying to figure out who would be a traitor, if they realized that Tom Sandoval would 100% do something like that, be like, well, that's not what I said last night. Or well, last night they were like, he could never be, even though he'd be like interesting or funny or great, like he would just say it. Oh my god. Yeah. That's the dumbest. I don't. There's not been a single reality show on earth where you ever want to say if you are the guilty party or the villain or
never say a word
where you want where you also want to say I'm the innocent one. Everyone now look at me.
Yeah. So all right. Well, they banked $10,000. Dylan is now moving from Danielle to Carolyn because Carolyn literally shit the bed here. Ivar thanks Danielle. Tom says Dolores, please stop, Tom. You're embarrassing yourself. Ivar and Tom know Carolyn can't pull it off, but can she? Dylan says his heart will be broken if it's between Carolyn and Danielle. And Ivar tells Danielle that Carolyn threw her name out again. And Danielle's like, that's all I needed. Bitch, hold my beer. Remember when Columbo always acted dumb? And I'm just like, ooh, old people references. I get these and no one watching the show will.
I loved this whole scene. I thought,
didn't Carol even say who's Columbo? That was funny. I know we're talking not that there yet, but Rachel continues. Sorry, who's Columbo?
I was just gonna say I just loved the whole scene. I just thought this whole thing from the start of the challenge until their banishment was just it was so great. Although I do feel like Carolyn did do herself dirty every single second.
Absolutely, and Danielle setting all this up, and Danielle going too hard after her. Is a perfect opportunity for Carolyn to go, like almost with shock, like, oh, it's you. It's you. To be like, oh my gosh, like this is now the most obvious thing. Carolyn would be like, okay, I know I've been a space cadet all over the place. Yeah, that stuff was weird because I genuinely do not know what the hell is going on. Yeah. And then go into her like, you guys know me, I'm an outsider, I'm weird. But for her to go, now it all makes sense. it has to be you,
she did
Danielle.
not. Danielle was prepared for tonight, and she got it. And so you guys have not caught my Deal or No Deal Island podcast from yesterday, did you?
I did not see that one.
Okay, well, I shared a story, and I think you guys may appreciate it. So a long time ago, I worked at a bike factory.
Cool.
And my first week there, they made me a spokesman.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
What do we have this guy in the back for when we could have him out here being Jonny Fairplay?
Yeah, Fairplay is always the fair play.
Yes.
No, I just worked on the spokes.
Oh.
Is this a joke?
Don't dad joke us.
I actually thought I fell for it again.
I did too.
I know.
Okay.
But then when you ended the story there, I was like,
yeah. Hey, Fairplay, do you think that do you think if like randomly it would have been Brittany being a traitor in this situation, and Jenn also obviously directing toward you, that if Brittany would have played this game, do you think she would have been able to take the heat off of herself, or do you think she would have buried herself deeper too?
No, I think Brittany could have navigated the Bob the Drag Queen and the Boston Rob of it all, and I think she's a Carolyn whisperer. I think she could have talked Carolyn off the cliff as well. So
maybe
I
Danielle.
think,
it depends on who she's paired with.
Yeah, I think Danielle. She got too much in the friend stuff with Bob.
Yeah.
She got too out of her head with the Boston Rob calling shit, and then the X factor that is Carolyn was too much. And as I said, you subtracted 2 of the 3, and she was like, "Well, fuck, I can if it's just the Carolyn of it all, I got that." But the other 2 it was just too much for emotionally and like Boston Rob sucks the air out of the room.
Yes.
I think Brittany can put air back in. I think that's a secret power that Brittany has that so few people could against a Boston Rob.
It's sheer eye rollingness where I think that she would be you're absolutely right, because there is something about Brittany and the way she will roll her eyes at somebody like him and like a Dan or something where she could just through the sheer like you're annoying, but let me play your game.
Trishelle-esque.
Yeah. I mean, Rachel, I think you would know the answer to this best because you've actually played a competition you've played Traitors and you've been on Big Brother with Brittany. To my answer would be like, it would depend on if it was the same set of Traitors, but what do you think?
What do you mean? If Brittany would do good?
Yeah, like where you would
she be able to have oxygen in the room with Boston Rob, in which Danielle cannot?
I don't know. That's a great question. I'm kind of surprised Danielle can't, because I feel like there's a certain level of like Janelle. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Janelle would.
Janelle's not
Boston Rob alive. I don't think she would put up with half the stuff Boston Rob did or said.
Eye rolling factor, brat factor.
Yeah.
Danielle doesn't have that brat factor that like Janelle and Brittany can turn on, where it's just like.
But Brittany, as much as she can turn it on, I don't like, this is not anything. I don't know how to say, but
not a diss.
Not a diss. Yeah. As much as Brittany can turn on the eye rolling factor, and I think if it was anyone else besides Boston Rob, but I don't know if it with Boston Rob.
Yeah, we didn't see her overly great with Boston Rob in the roundtables.
That's true.
So yeah, as I said, he's a lot.
He's like, a lot.
Kate would have been good with Boston Rob because she would be fine. Yeah,
I think Trishelle would have ate up Boston Rob.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if Trishelle would. Do you think she would?
Yeah, because she's done like I remember an article in Us or Entertainment Weekly. Dalton Ross wrote this is like 10 years ago, and they were talking like the people that have done the most reality shows ever. And tied for 1 and 2 were Boston Rob and Trishelle. And he literally wrote, he goes, if you went away, we'd miss you a lot more, or something, something like that. Yeah. So I think Trishelle would walk in there, for the Survivor and the challenge prestige, it's like network and cable and all that. Trishelle's like, bitch, I've done just as many of these as you.
Yeah, that's true. I just feel like she's friends with Boston Rob, right? So there's also that.
Yeah, they're poker pals.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say it'd be a different vibe than like a Janelle who's gonna outwardly be like, "No, I'm not having this fight with him," or like a Kate or a Parv that is. Yeah,
I think with Trishelle, she's friends with him. With Janelle, Janelle's like, "No, absolutely not." Like
exactly.
Janelle's doing what Janelle wants. I think Poverty and Rob are head to head doing, and I think he caves to her, and I think he probably caves to Janelle, and I think that when it comes down to it, Brittany, I don't think she would go against him, but I think that like she would have the eye roll factor, but she wouldn't. I don't think she would go against him.
Yeah, I think she'd be eye rolling in her interviews to us, but she'd be pretending to go along with him.
Exactly.
Like Janelle would be fighting him, Kate would be fighting him, Parv would be fighting him. Trishelle would work with him, so she'd be successful at it because it wouldn't be.
Parv and Boston Rob are good friends.
But I think that I know that they're good friends, but I think
I think he would listen to her.
I think he would listen to her.
She would have a voice.
She would put her foot down. Whereas I don't see as much of like, I think him and Trishelle work together in a different way than him and Parv.
But I think more important than any of that.
I mean, I don't even know.
If you're on a show called Traitors, and there are 3 or 4 or 2 people are assigned the role of traitors, and Boston Rob is on your fucking cast. You think Boston Rob's not going to be a traitor?
Oh, if I was a faithful, the first person I'm getting out
is Boston Rob, guys.
Yeah. Why? Even if he's not, sorry. Like,
don't care. Sorry, it's Boston Rob.
Great. So I have done a show with him. I taped a show with Boston Rob, and it was a competition show, which was like a match. It was aired in Canada. It was a mashup of Amazing Race, Survivor, Apprentice, and Big Brother. And he does think it's his show, and he does want to run it. And the ways to take it are like to try to fight with him and take it on, or to get totally mowed over by him, or to like laugh at him and make him think that he's winning, and like you could win that way.
Yeah, I think that's what you'd have to do. I mean, I don't even know if I think I would try to work with him, and I would definitely say my piece, but I don't know that I would even and I would go against any other reality guy. And if you put me in a room with Dr. Will, I would eat him up. Like,
oh god, that'd be so fun because he's so like.
Well, he retired.
He's so. I just can't handle Dr. Will. He's so pompous. Yeah. But
he was eliminated. He's retired forever. Won't even do an interview anymore.
No, I know he's so famous. Not really. But Rob's not he's not on the same level of the ick factor of Dr. Will. Rob is like.
No,
I feel like you want to like him.
No, I had fun with Rob. I had fun, even though I knew he was like targeting me. But he also was kind of being flirty, and like this was 15 years ago, So it's like a little flirtation thing. We were young. Everyone was
flirting. He has 4 kids and Amber.
He was flirting, but he was playing a game. Jenn was there from Amazing Race. He was definitely intentionally trying to give it's before he became like Dad Bob Rob, where he still thought he could use his charm. It's on camera. It was a strategy. So he thought if he was cute with us and flirty with us and more aggressive towards the guys, that it would work. And I will say, I think with Jen, it kind of did. Like she was like he giggling, and with me, I was just like, I will pretend and like we can giggle and try to get rid of everyone else. But I really in the end was like, I will cut this guy's head off. But I was like, I'll play dumb. I'll be like, oh, ha, Rob.
Who won?
What?
You win?
Who won?
I don't even remember now. I think Rob actually won.
Oh, there we go.
Well, because it was down to James from Big Brother and Rob, and now I just can't remember. I don't remember if James or Rob won now.
James from Big Brother.
Yeah.
Wow. There's a blast.
That's old school. Yeah. That's really old school. Okay.
Oh.
All right. I've got to go. I love you guys. Thank you for having me. Hey, so sad about Carolyn. Before we go, was devastated. I think she was the most fun traitor to watch this season. We love Rob.
Possibly ever.
Rob the drag queen, but I really think she was such a fun traitor. I want to see more traitors like her, and like I'm hoping they'll cast more traitors that are like kind of all over the place. It's fun. It's just
100.
Yeah, messy gameplay is great. The new season of Australian Survivor.
Yeah. It was fun, but I was so sad that she went home.
Oh yeah, like, I was so sad. I actually was. It made. I guess it makes good TV when you have people disappointed, but it actually almost went past that to where I was like, I was having so much fun watching her.
Same.
Well,
now I'm like, I know. Now I'm like,
exactly.
But like,
real
I
quick,
think it'll be fun for the rest. I think so. Danielle, I think, did not make a good decision with recruiting Brittany, but I think it was her only decision. I wouldn't have recruited Brittany if I was her, but I think it was her only decision. If she says, "Oh, I want to keep Brittany because I want to go to the end with Brittany," I think that's a lie. You make Brittany a traitor so you can blame so you can get Brittany killed.
I think Dylan would have been the move.
Dylan would have been the move here because he didn't have a choice, right? So like this person didn't have a choice. She made a bad decision doing that with pulling in Brittany because Brittany also trusts her so much. Yeah. So as a faithful, so at that point, like you don't want to bring the one person that thinks that you're a faithful who's going to fight for you into your turret because now you're both going to look like traitors. So
and people have already brought up Brittany so many times. I understand the shield thing, and that's exactly if this had been last week and things had gotten, she had got Brittany in there. Carolyn should have said yes, and she should have used Brittany like a total shield, like that would have worked. But now that we are where we are, Danielle choosing Brittany, I get what she thinks she wants. Hey, maybe it'll work out, but I'm like, you got to get Dylan because he's the most trusted person there. Or maybe even like a Dolores because you can either trust her or sacrifice her when people start to go, what about this housewife? I don't know.
I think Dolores is too, it's like, whatever. I mean, I guess it's a throwaway. If you do Dolores, it's an easy throwaway. If you do Dylan, it's a genius move.
Dylan's the move.
Gabby
would have been fun.
Gabby would have been fun too.
Yeah, but I don't know if Gabby. I don't think Gabby and Dolores care.
Brittany is the worst.
That might be true. Brittany's the worst move. I agree, and it also might be true that I think Gabby cares, but Dolores. I like Dolores is like it's almost it's definitely not reaching Kate levels, but it's like Dolores seems to not be so unconcerned with in a way whether she goes home or not. That is kind of iconic.
Yeah. So real quick, Rachel, I'm covering Australian Survivor, Brains vs. Brawn 2. It just started on Monday here, Sunday in Australia. And it is some sloppy gameplay. And I am here for it all day long.
I can't wait.
It is guys with zero social equity whatsoever going, I'm now in charge. Here is a plan. I have never talked to you in the first 4 days of the game, but I'm throwing out a plan now that I'm sure you're going to go with. And I'm going after your best friend. So do not tell them if this doesn't work out and everything should be good. And it's just like, wow, this is really fun. So yeah, it is the opposite of you. Like there's a lot of game bots in US Survivor, Australian Survivor. Tons of recruits have no idea what they're doing, and just the beauty of zero social equity and attempting to make a plan that has no chance whatsoever except just blowing up in your face like a piece of dynamite. It's wonderful. So
I love that. I can't wait. Yes. All right, so, I gotta go. I love you guys forever. Have a good podcast, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Yeah,
I want to do Australian Survivor coverage. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. So for anyone that would like to join along, the podcast is available. It's for free for everybody. But if you'd like links to the actual episodes, go to realitypatron.com. That's realitypatron.com. And links are there to watch Australian Survivor and then follow along with the podcast. It's amazing. So
where do you watch Australian Survivor? Is it you have to have like a VPN or is there?
No.
I've never watched it. You've told me I need to watch it.
I'll shoot over the links. So you just watch it. You watch it in a browser. It's great.
Okay.
So and then I airstream it to my big TV. It's wonderful. So but it's roundtable time and Jenn Hoffman, a fate worse than death, democracy. Truer words have never been spoken.
Perfect timing.
Carolyn is here with the mean mug to start us off. And I'm like, Carolyn, this is not how you start.
No.
And, but don't worry, Ivan starts and he goes, hey, just a heads up. There's 2 traitors left. Pretty sure they're both girls because all the guys are dumb. All right.
No lie there.
Yeah. No lies detected.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, something new, a possible power will be introduced. I did not catch Alan saying this other than right here.
And then in the end, when he said there's a seer.
Yeah.
There's going to be, I don't know what the seer is. Like maybe they get to see hidden. I don't even want to speculate.
Maybe they get some sushi grade tuna and they sear it.
The seer, dad jokes.
Okay. Well, I love a good sushi.
I do love dad jokes. I do.
Okay.
I usually do. But I'm upset you got me with the spokesperson.
Yes. All right. Carolyn. Carolyn. Okay. Say Danielle. As a faithful, why would you lie? And I'm like, ooh. And Carolyn never said Brittany's name, and Danielle's like, all right, I've heard enough. Carolyn has been Forrest Gumping this the entire time.
I know. What are you asking me? Sorry, I'm interrupting. My child is asking me a question. She's in her underwear. She can't hear. Okay, I will be in there to help you after this.
2 minutes.
Can you close the door? Close the door. What?
His final stretch. Here we go. So Carolyn hasn't said Danielle hasn't said Carolyn's name in 4 nights out of fear of being murdered. She's like, yes, I threw her name out there, but I thought I was right then. I know I'm right now. I stopped saying her name because I thought she was going to murder me, and I'm just like, damn, girl.
This is where I want to see Carolyn come out with like, use her shock and complete like, oh my God face and say, it's been you this whole time. I thought so. It has to be. Like, not only are you pulling a Boston Rob by being super and doing a Bob there, like this is a pattern, and being like, I am such a moron that like you have been like gunning for me. I haven't seen it. Like you lied about something and said me. I should have definitely known at that moment. There's no way when you lied and said, when you lied about saying my name, there should have been no doubt in my mind that you're a traitor. There is no doubt right now. If there's a doubt at anyone at this table that Danielle is not the mastermind type of person that would lie, that would do that, just go all in and then throw some shade at Brittany, and be like, they're running around like besties that are making fools of you. And I'm an idiot too. That's where she should have gone.
I think the issue is because like when Carolyn puts on the tears, I'm just like, yes.
Yeah.
But I feel like Danielle's already de-weaponized the tears by using them so much. They're just like, oh, here's tears again. We've seen tears for 2 weeks from Danielle.
The problem was Carolyn's tears would have been more effective if you hadn't had the Danielle tears, but also if she had pointed anyway effectively made some evidence a case for besides just the wouldn't lie evidence back at Danielle, because she could have mixed in the tears, no one knows me, got the guilt trip for Dylan and the friendship, got all that while saying, and like, I'm gonna go down for Danielle, for actual Danielle. That's what you guys want, like me, like you're like me, like you guys don't see it, like that.
So no, Danielle, this was peak prime Danielle. This is the Danielle I wanted on this season of Traitors. It is, it was just,
it made me want to be on Traitors. Like I've said, I would be on it because it's the #1 show. It's cinematic. It's gorgeous. But watching that argument, this whole season, watching the arguments is making me think it. But seeing how Danielle just slayed her and then came out as Danielle made me want to sit at that round table with Danielle and destroy her so badly that I was like, I need to be on the show. Like I'd never, before I thought it'd be fun, but now I was like, that's the reason why you go. So you go up against a Danielle who just can masterfully just do what she just did, bring the Danielle and defeat her.
This was Phaedra level.
Yeah. Yes. But those are the people I would love to.
Oh yeah, that's why we watch the show. So and then throw in a Carolyn to totally. It's like, oh, I guess we're watching for a completely different reason.
My social game around the castle might not be as good as like a Phaedra or someone like that. But if you get me at that table, or if you corner me, or if you start an argument, or if you do like that, is not going to end well.
Yeah. So, well, it's another situation in Carolyn's life in which she isn't heard. I'm just like, maybe don't say now, don't listen, like you're not listening to me. I would change that to be like, how about today is the day that you do listen to me? I think just the negativity and the pessimism and the weakness of it all versus the veracity and strength of what Danielle. What if you're choosing between two sides? I feel like mentally Danielle's already won because she's conditioned your mind to be like, well, this is the positive right one.
I totally agree. And that's why I was saying, like, Carolyn's only move there.
You do the shock and awe, but still follow it with, like, as you said, I now know this. Like, give some positivity behind your statement.
Yes,
it was not there. It was all defeatism.
No, it was defeatism. Like, if you guys choose me, it'll be horrible. I've been going through this my whole life. There was not pointing the finger back at Danielle, saying it must be Danielle. She should have gone into that round table saying, if I don't say the name Danielle at least 24 times, I'm going to lose. You know, like, even if she was going to revert to an honest
That's not her wheelhouse, though.
But it's not. But it's like, you have to train yourself that when you are
I don't think that's in. I think if Carolyn were to come back, maybe. But I don't feel. But do you make Carolyn a traitor a second time?
No, but that would be amazing. Number one, amazing, and no one.
And if you're Carolyn, like, there's not me.
Yeah, how could me again? Like, that would be. Please, traitors.
Please, traitor gods, listen to us.
I need a Carolyn traitor, like, all stars her again, so she can be like, what? Yeah.
Yes. So, well, it's time to vote. Carolyn votes Danielle. Ivar votes Carolyn. I'm like, Dolores votes Tom. I'm like, what are we doing here? Danielle votes Carolyn. Gabby votes Danielle. I'm like, Gabby's like, I couldn't take the tears. I'm like, girl, that's right. Tom votes Dolores. Tom, please, what is happening? Brittany votes Carolyn. Dylan, Carolyn. And that's it. That's all she wrote. Circle of Truth. And Alan says, Carolyn, before you leave my house forever, please reveal to us. And are you a faithful? Carolyn says, every day in my life, I am judged because of who I am, because of my differences, because of my quirks. I didn't want to connect with a lot of you because I'm an emotional person. Playing this game is not easy for me. I just wanted to have fun, but I have to get real with myself. And being a traitor was not fun. And right there, I got tears rolling down my face. And I'm like, what is happening? Why is Jonny Fairplay crying? Because
it was so real. It was like, you realize that this person, like, actually all the traumas and things she does have about her that were working for her in the beginning just crashed down on her, and that she is a more fun-loving person and did want to bond with people. And she has this moment where, like, she's exposed. She's got thrashed by Danielle.
Yeah.
She didn't have the support of Dylan, and she's like, this isn't fun. Like, I hate this. And I was like, so sad for her. Like,
yeah, it was a lot. So, and Danielle's like, I had facts and receipts. I'm like, whoo. And then Gabby's like, do you think it was traitor on traitor tonight? Because tonight's roundtables kind of give me Rob versus Bob vibes. And I'm like, what? And then Brittany's like, is that why I haven't been murdered? I'm like, oh my God, it's all falling apart. And time to go to the turret. No regrets from Danielle. And it's time for her to meet face-to-face in the dungeon with an ultimatum, join or die. Brittany walks into the room. There is a note, and Brittany says, you have to be shitting me. What the fuck? And then she's like, oh my God, if it's Danielle, wouldn't it be so fucking obvious that she would recruit me? Yes, you're right, Brittany. It would. And next week, the Power, the Seer, they're searing steaks or sashimi grade tuna. Who's to say? But I don't think Brittany's going to be happy with this recruitment.
I think she's going to think this was a bad move, but she might be able to use it to toss Danielle out, which would be epic. If Brittany,
which was what Danielle should have done with Brittany, but wouldn't do.
If Brittany is able to accept,
do you think Danielle would have sacrificed Brittany to work with Carolyn? Because I feel like there was a part of her that would, and then I feel like there's a part of her to be like, oh, you know what, fuck this bitch.
In this moment, no. I think that in Danielle's like repertoire and in Danielle's capability, she would have sacrificed Brittany, but she's dead set. She there's
he
like
wants Brittany there.
She just does. And I'm like, oh my, and then also I was gonna follow up with, do you think now Gabby's definitely dead? Because if Brittany obviously she doesn't want to be murdered, she's gonna choose to say yes, become a traitor. First thing out of her mouth is gonna be like, by the way, Gabby said that was traitor on traitor fighting. Gabby's gotta go.
Well, no, because whenever Gabby has a good take, she forgets it like 20 minutes. She's a goldfish.
Yeah, like Dory.
She's had perfect takes this entire game that 20 minutes later she's like, oh yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I was talking about a traitor. That doesn't sound right.
That is true. But people, that's what it is. It's the wrong people listening or not following up, because she told the wrong person, because now Brittany is now probably going to become a traitor. But if she had told Dylan or then maybe it would have had more momentum, or Tom Sandoval. I don't know.
Well, Tom Sandoval's like, you make a valid point. It's Dolores.
Actually, of all people, she should have told Dolores.
Yeah. But once again, I don't think Dolores. I think Dolores is just like, I'm just here for the smoked salmon, and if I don't get it, then let me out. I don't care.
Dolores has just been kind of like just chilling.
Yeah. Dolores hates being the last person at breakfast because there's no smoked salmon left.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I just love the way she gets there, and even when directly interrogate her, ask how she felt or anything, she doesn't say much, and then she just kind of like makes a face like,
Yeah, doesn't care. So,
yeah.
All right. So, well, this was an episode. It was emotional. I feel like I got the Danielle that I signed up for when I first heard the cast. However, I don't think Brittany's the best pick, but maybe collectively they can figure out this master plan. But I think without a shadow of a doubt, Dylan was the fucking pick.
Dylan was 100% the move, but now that that's not the reality, the task is for Brittany to get rid of Danielle.
Yeah.
That's Brittany's assignment.
Can Danielle live with Brittany ousting her back to back?
It would be outrageously epic. It would be poetry. She's like, we built our bond, and then Danielle like choosing her, which Brittany knows is dumb. If Brittany is smart, Brittany will go, we can have a repeat, and Danielle won't even see the actual thing coming. It'd be amazing.
I holy moly. All right. Well, Jenn Hoffman, where can everybody find you on the socials?
At Instagram, I'm at Jenn Hoffman, JennHoffman HI. I think my TikTok is that too. I don't really use it, but if you want to follow me, maybe I will, or maybe it's banned. Who knows what's going on? But Instagram probably is the best place.
There you go. I'm at Jonny Fairplay, no H in Johnny, and JonnyFairplay.com for links to almost everything. Get yourself a cameo. As soon as we're done here, I have like 8 cameos I got to knock out. So thank you, everybody. You guys are loving me in the last 24 hours. So that's what else? Next week, I'm going to be in Norwalk, Connecticut. I am hosting the premiere of Survivor Season 48 with Richard Hatch. So that is next Wednesday night. Go to besttriviaever.com for tickets. VIP is almost sold out. So if you're interested, I would get your tickets now. It's going to be really cool. That like Best Trivia Ever. It's amazing what they're planning for this. And then in 2 weeks, I'm in Australia. 16th of March, I'm in Sydney. 17th of March, I'm in Melbourne. Get your tickets at survivortix.com for those. At survivortix.com for both of those. And March 9th, I'm in Boca Raton Wrestling. Go there for tickets for that. It's me versus Neil the Heel. And and then watch Australian Survivor with me. Go to realitypatron.com. That's realitypatron.com. Get links and then go back and watch the podcast here. It's me and Eden Porter from last season's Titans v Rebels season of Australian Survivor. This season is already amazing. One of the best bad guys ever on one tribe, one of the best bad guys ever on each tribe. And they are 2 very different varieties of villains. And so with that, thank you, everybody. Click the subscribe, share, like, comment, all the things. And bye, everybody.
Bye.